This is the CHRILLCAST. I'm Chris.
Hi, this is Kuro with the Minute Channel. Thank you for having me here.
Hey, what's up? David, glad to be here.
This is Spencer of Shin Megami Tensei Network, and also known as the COVID CHRILLCAST survivor.
I'm going to pull up you guys' channels real quick as you guys talk about them, just to give a brief description of what you guys do, since I appreciate all of your channels for different reasons. It'd be good to hear all about it. So, Mr. Midnight Channel yourself, why don't you tell everybody about your channel real quick?
You know what? I'm terrible at this. I rewritten my my description in my channel like a million times, and I'm like, what is my channel about? So obviously I have a channel dedicated to Persona, Shin Megami Tensei, just gaming in general. I'm pretty chill, like to talk about games, and I was like, you know what? Let's go ahead and talk about games. So thank you so much for inviting me again. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. I'm going to pause real quick. My dehumidifier just came on. I'm going to turn that off for the whole podcast. So 1 second. I will cut this part out. I will cut this part out. I promise. I can hear it really loud right now.
Yeah, I'm like cranking it up to see if I can hear it, and I can hear it. So.
See, but as soon as all of us say that, then it'll be on his recording, and then he will never forgive himself.
My apologies. All right, David. I know you just talked some major smack about me while I was gone, so why don't you tell me about your channel?
Sorry?
I was joking. I said you talked some major smack about me while I was gone.
Oh, not even that.
I know, I'm messing. All right, what's your channel all about, David?
My channel is all about basically everything Atlas. So everything Atlas, mostly news coverage and discussion videos.
And some more awesome channels. He's even got Midnight Channel links, so that's pretty awesome. Good for you. I need to update my featured channels.
Hey, you can right click. You'll see Spencer as well.
Yeah, I'm getting to Spencer right now. Actually, I probably could have done it quicker using your featured channels, but you know.
Me, the guy who I'm pretty sure I have like no featured channels because that's like 2015 for me to learn apparently. I was like laughing to myself, like listening to Kuro be like, I've edited my channel description like a million times, and then I'm thinking to myself, I think I only edited mine last time you guys reviewed my channel because I was like, man, that's a bad description. I better go fix that thing.
Yeah, you did fix your channel, but here's the thing: you only have uploads. Why don't you put your playlists and stuff on the front of your channel here?
Jokes on you, my man. I have 0 playlists. I haven't made a single playlist for any of my videos. Like, you would think it'd be like, at the very least, I would do like my podcast as like a playlist to make it easy. But it's like, it's really funny to me, like with how much more I've been doing my channel. Like, I've been putting a lot more effort into what goes up on it, but I've just like had so little time to be like, all right, let's go fix the banner because oh my god, like I hate the dimensions YouTube gives you for the banner. It's like the worst thing ever. And then like there are so many little things, and I'm like, you know what? If I can get 2 videos out a week, I'm happy with that. Like, it's just so low on the totem pole, even though I know I desperately need to change it.
Well, if you decide you want some help, let me know, Spencer. I'll help you reorganize.
I'll give you the password here. The password for the account, cheese.
Oh my god.
Just
Spencer.
Oh, sorry. Lowercase, all letters. No.
All right, guys. So today, I make sure you guys at least check out their channels, and if you like what you see, subscribe. We don't want to screw up their analytics, so if you don't like what you see, don't subscribe and screw up their channel. But if you like it, go ahead, subscribe to all 3 of these guys. Links in the description below. They will be there once I finally, put this video up and edit the descriptions and everything else. But I digress. Today we're going to be talking to Mr. Kuro about his channel and his time on YouTube. So, David, you got that first question for him?
Absolutely. First question, my dude, is what was your inspiration to start your channel?
Oh, that's actually a great question. It's really interesting because my inspiration was out of disappointment for Fallout 76. So I was one of the I don't know, nothing completely related to Persona at all, but I'm also a huge Bethesda fan. I've been a fan for pretty much Western RPGs for a while, and I was one of the lucky people to get into the beta before the beta came out. So there were like 2 betas. There was like 1 beta for privately, and then there was a second beta for everybody. And So I played the beta and it was really bad. And I saw a bunch of YouTubers, like big time YouTubers, that were like, "Oh, this game is gonna be great. You know, it has some issues." And I was like, "No, there's no way they're gonna fix this game in like 2 months that they have." So I'm here to tell you, as not a YouTuber, just a random guy here on YouTube, this game sucks. It's gonna blow. And then like the game comes up for everybody as beta, and everybody's hitting it. And I was like, "Yeah, I knew it." I like called it. So yeah, that was my inspiration. Oddly enough, nothing related to Persona, but I just needed to put that out. I was like, I need to tell everybody about this.
I'm looking forward to all your Bethesda content now that they're owned by Microsoft. We better see a revival of the Bethesda talk.
Oh yeah, definitely. I'm hoping I can see that.
How do you feel about the fact they haven't released a new game since Fallout 76? I mean, they had like some mobile game, but
You know what? I actually don't mind. Ever since I played a couple games that have just been coming out broken, including 76, I'm like, how about we just wait until you finish the game and the game is like in playable condition before you release anything. So I'm actually like in the camp where I'm comfortable waiting for games now. Maybe not Shin Megami Tensei 5. I'm still waiting on that for a little too long. I'm like, I want to see some gameplay. But no, I'm fine waiting. Definitely.
understood. So when did you decide to be the Midnight Channel and why?
You know what? After that first video that I did, I showed it to my sister, and she was like, "You should do more YouTube channel." And I was like, "I don't know. I need to think about it because I didn't have like the equipment or anything." We were talking about this previously before we even started, but I play music, and I was like, "We don't have music equipment, so like a lot of the stuff can be used for recording videos and stuff." So my first few videos was just me kind of editing through my iPad with my studio recording. I was like, I mean, I have something to make videos from, and from then on, it just turned into the main channel. I was like, I wanted something Persona because I love obviously Persona and my channels now that, but originally I didn't really think about making Persona content. Actually, it took me like a few weeks before I made my first Persona video.
It took me a long time to convince Will to cover Persona, but we'll talk about that a different time. All right, Spencer, you got the next question?
Yeah, so what are some of your favorite Persona and SMT games if you had to like pick either or?
Oh, I had to pick either or.
Why can't he have both?
Like you could do like whether it be like because I know like just because there are so many split between both, I want to be like, what is your favorite Persona game, and then what is your favorite SMT game? Because I have like a lot of times where I'll ask people, oh, what's your favorite SMT game, and then they feel like because like even though they're all like related, because there are like so many, it's kind of hard just to pick like that one. So I'm giving you the gimme. You get like one of each.
Okay, that's how the question was meant to be read.
That's great. Okay, I like
Give us. You also have to give us the favorite one out of the two afterwards.
Ooh.
Oh, okay. That's
Don't
actually
be
pretty hard.
I want to hear it. I want to hear it.
Okay. So my favorite Persona game, I think that's why that's what David is saying that because he knows my favorite Persona. So my favorite Persona games is Persona 3. That's my favorite Persona game. I know there's a lot of issues with the game, but it really when I played that game, it just really helped me through like a really rough time in my life. My grandpa was going through chemotherapy. He passed away from cancer. But I literally, so the whole theme of death and everything, it just really helped me kind of like coming to terms with that. So it was like it's morbid in a sense, I guess, but it really just helped me get through that period of my life. So oddly enough, that's why. But my other game that I like, Shin Megami Tensei, will be Nocturne. That was my first Shin Megami Tensei game, and honestly, like I will say, if I had to pick now out of the two, I'll probably say Nocturne. Like it's just a better game overall, but it's just like I have this emotional attachment to Persona 3, but overall, like I legitimately believe Nocturne is a better game.
So you're a big fan of threes.
Yeah, that's what you can take away from that. I just love threes, and I'm hopefully I don't side note on that, after seeing the trailers for SMT5, I'm just like, I hope it's kind of like 3 but kind of like its own thing too. I don't want it to be too much like 3, but side note, I just thought about it. I was like, yeah, not like 3 but different, but a little bit. I don't know.
I bet his favorite Bethesda game is Fallout 3.
Close. It's New
If the
Vegas.
answer isn't if the answer isn't New Vegas, then you're just lying to us.
Literally, you just said New Vegas. Yeah.
All right, let's see here. Oh, David's got a even more interesting question for you.
Absolutely. The next one is, what are your least favorite Persona and Shin Megami Tensei games? And of course, I want to hear which is your least favorite out of the two afterwards.
Oh, okay. That's a hard question. There's really no good answer for any of these, right?
Are we gonna let him pick spin-offs or no spin-offs?
Oh yeah,
Ah,
I mean, 'cause I don't ever view spin-offs as spin-offs. Like anything mainline or non-mainline,
Yeah.
they're all part of the same garbage canon, so it's all the same.
Oh, okay. That makes it way
agreed.
easier for me.
Yeah.
King is gonna hate this answer, but I really, really hate the dancing games.
Wait, am I just chopped liver here? Am I like?
Spencer likes the dancing games too.
Yeah, he does. I know. No, but no, especially particularly Persona 3 and Persona 5 dancing. There's just something about them that irked me, and it wasn't the fact that they were dancing games. Like I liked some of the mechanics of the rhythm games and everything. It's just the fact that they came out with like no story. It just felt really like rushed, I guess, in a sense. Like they were just like, okay, Persona 5 was really popular. Let's go ahead and just pop this out so we can get a quick buck out of them. And I was like, it could have been closer to like even Persona 4 Golden with this cheesy storyline and all the stuff that they did. I like that a lot more than just like, okay, well, this is what we can do and this is what we're gonna do.
Wait, you said golden. Do you mean golden or dancing?
No, dancing. Persona 4
Okay.
dancing.
Just want to make sure.
Let me tell you about that cheesy old golden story. Real filler talk going on there.
Right.
No, Persona 4 dancing. I'm sorry. Yeah, that game, I liked it better because of the cheesy storyline that they had, and it did feel like a Persona 4, I guess, continuation. I guess if you want to say it like loosely, but the dancing games, the other two, it just didn't feel right for me. I felt like something off about them. I don't know my least favorite Megami Tensei game. Like at this point, I haven't played one that wasn't like dissatisfied with. Does that make sense? And I played a lot of them, and I'm really trying to think in my head. I was like, which one was the one that I was least dissatisfied with? I'm gonna cheat a little bit. I'm not gonna do Megami Tensei, but the crossover, the Fire Emblem.
Oh, really? You didn't like that one at
I
all?
had the right place to say that, my dude.
I
You're not
thought
at
that
the
was
right
pretty
place.
decent.
No. I'm not saying that it was bad. I just say that it's my least favorite. That's the word, right? That's the question, right?
That
My
doesn't
least
make me mad at you. That just shows me how few of the bad games you've played.
Oh yeah.
If you think that's the worst, then that means there's a lot of games you've not played, my man.
Play Ronde. Play Ronde.
Yeah, and I haven't played any of the older ones. Anything prior to, actually, never mind. Anything prior to Shin Megami Tensei 3, and I also played SMT 1 and 2, but I haven't played anything else, like anything older than that. And I haven't played 9 either, which I heard interesting stuff about it.
If you want to be edgy, you can just say Majin Tensei 2. No one's gonna fact check you on that one.
Or the Nokia mobile game from years ago.
Oh no, dude, that's just a port. Like you say that sucks. That's just saying like SMT 1 sucks.
No, that iteration of SMT1 sucks.
Oh man, anything on like a Nokia, like you get like an extra like bonus point just for being on there. It's like
Yeah.
when I
for
see a bad port on Switch, it's like, oh dude, everyone's gonna play it on there. But like when you show me like a bad port on like a Vita, I'm like, oh cool, dude. Like yeah, like it's not a good port, but like hey, it's on there. That's cool.
Yeah, it makes sense. Yeah. No, I liked going back to the question. I really liked the game gameplay. I just didn't like the story. I mentioned this before, but I'm not into, how do I explain it? I'm not into the idol scene, and I mentioned this priorly to you guys, but I'm just not into the idol stuff. That's really what it is. It just, the storyline wasn't written for me, I guess you can say. But anything else, like the gameplay is really good. That actually got me excited for Persona 5. Whenever I played that game, I was like, man, I really wish Persona 5 had taken some of the mechanics from it.
few fleeting months when TMS was out before P5 in the West, and it was like, oh man, look at what we got, baby. It's the future of Atlas. Oh, and then no one's gonna remember this game.
See, I look
Yeah.
at that game as like they borrowed so many things, like the loading screens, some of the scenery in Persona 5, and like kind of just made it more noir.
Oh yeah, like if you
They
look
borrowed
at
a lot.
if you look at the dungeons, like people will look at P5 as being the first time they didn't just do carbon copy dungeons, but like TMS actually was the first ones that like they put thought into the design of each dungeon to make it feel different.
Oh yeah.
Obviously, the budget's a lot higher on P5.
I don't know. Nintendo probably gave them a lot of money.
Oh no, yeah, but you gotta like, literally most people don't know this. Half the budget of TMS went to the licensing of the songs because they paid they actually paid I forget the name of the company, but they paid a legit like idol group agency to write and perform all of the songs.
That's crazy. That's dedication. I'll actually give them cookie points for that. I didn't know that. That doesn't change my mind on the game, but it's nice. I'll give them props for that. Again, it's not a bad game whatsoever. It is my least favorite game. I wasn't trying to pick the worst game I ever played, but it's my least favorite of the SMT games. Again, gameplay is really good. I really even wanted more of those features from that game into Persona 5, but that's a different conversation, I guess, altogether.
I've got a kind of different question for you. So, like, I'm going to start off with this. I just realized today, now that I'm thinking about it, although Persona, every game seems to get like an enhanced re-release, the SMT games kind of don't. But I'm going to jump back into that later. Which of the 3 enhanced Persona games do you think was the best? Or I guess 4 if you include P3P and Fest together as like 2 different enhanced games. But which one was your favorite? The Golden, the Royal, Fest, or P3P? Which one was the best implemented in a enhanced remake?
Oh, that's a hard question. Because I like them for different reasons, but at the same time I also dislike them for different reasons. Like each enhanced version did some things better, yet some did some things worse, I think.
Do you only compare the new content? Like the new content from 3P
That's a
and 4G
good point. Yeah,
and
I would
Royal?
think
Because if you do compare only the new content, I think Royal's a safe bet. But if you compare the whole experience as a whole, that's different.
Yeah, I'm thinking of the whole experience as a whole because the thing about Royal is you can easily still take the third semester and be like, okay, well, Royal was basically a third semester. You know, sure they added some stuff and everything, but basically the majority of it is the third semester. But when you look at something like Persona 3 Fest, which added, you know, like a whole social link for Aegis and a lot of battle improvements in that aspect, you can kind of be like, okay, well, that's different. And then on top of that, they had the answer. And then if you think of Persona 3 Portable, if you want to even go further on that, with all the improvements, I guess, or the enhancements that they did into the game, you're like, okay, well, you know, there's still a lot of good stuff that they did to it. I think I'm going to go for Golden, though. I feel like out of all the stuff that they added and taken and everything, I think Golden was probably the best remaster. I don't know what you even call it. Remastered enhanced version? I don't
enhanced re-release. That's what I like to call it.
Enhanced re-release, yeah. It's just... first of all, it came out on the Vita, which was like my whole purpose of buying a Vita in the first place, and it just had a lot of good stuff. I actually really like the Golden port. I would choose anything on port Golden over the original game. I think that would be my choice for there.
What would you? Okay, so you've never played 1, 2, or what I'm going to call 2.5, right?
Yeah, I played them.
Oh, you have? Okay. So which version
I
did you
played
play? The
all of
PSP versions or the OG versions?
I played both of them. Yeah,
Both of
the
them,
original one on the PSP version. In fact, I had to play the PSP version for Persona 2. Obviously for the second part. I'm sorry, for the first part of Persona 2. And then I went back and I tried to get one. I have a PlayStation 1 with a chip on it that I can play ESO games installed into a CD-ROM. And so I got that in Mexico right away, which is kind of like interesting. But
God, I know they weren't publishing games in Mexico for everything.
exactly, yeah. I mean, like, if you want to think about it, like anything that is in the internet is just it was playable over there. Anyway, so that was kind of like my way of playing those games back in the day. So yeah, I don't know. I don't have preference over those. I know people have like an issue with like the soundtrack being different in some aspects, but I actually kind of just like the music change. You know, even if it's different or almost the same. Although Persona 1, the opening song doesn't really match the tone of Persona 1. Like it's a good song, but it doesn't match it at all. And I hate that I think Shoji Meguro did it, right?
He
The
did both
opening?
versions.
Yes.
He did both
Yeah.
versions.
It's just like completely out of it doesn't mean anything. It doesn't it's in no way attached to Persona 1. I feel like he just made like a Persona 3 song or a Persona 4 song that was kind of like, well, we can just use that
It's always funny that people call that out because people always like trash on PSP's remake soundtrack, and then no one ever brings up the fact that the dude who did the music in both also directed the PSP remake.
He did that one. Did he also do the direct P3P and the
No,
Okay,
no,
I couldn't remember.
He just did one at the time. I think it was either. I'm guessing they just couldn't get anyone else on there. He just had a weird nostalgia for it. It's just one of those rare things that you very rarely see a composer turn a director.
Right.
Yeah,
Makes
that's true.
sense.
For real. Yeah, no, I just think the soundtrack doesn't really match the tone of the game, which again, now that you mentioned that he directed it, it's also weird that he didn't match it. But yeah, that's my
What I'm telling you is that your opinion's wrong. He directed it, so clearly everyone has to enjoy his vision.
All right, here's one last question in that regard. Do you prefer to play the Shin Megami Tensei, this Atlas games in general, portable or on a TV?
Well, that's actually a weird question for me. I don't get out of my house often, and it's not by choice or anything. My job is from home, so like I don't have to go out anywhere for anything. Like I order food and I literally order my groceries online. So when the pandemic started, I was like the one person that was not impacted on it whatsoever. Like my life didn't change to the point that I was like going out or anything like that. So I'm just gonna go with console. I just again I don't use handheld a lot. Although the PSP and the PS Vita is like my only exception to that rule. If I can get those games on the PSP or the PS Vita, I will definitely do that.
Cool. All right, let me see. I think I've taken up a ton of time with those questions, but I think I actually have the next question too. So, what is your favorite video you've produced on your channel?
That's a great question. You know, when I was thinking about the question, I'm kind of like, I have so many videos in my channel. I reached over 1,000 videos in my channel.
Wow.
And I was like, I don't know why I have so many videos. And while I was thinking, I was like, well, which videos do I like? But the thing about me is like, I actually like, I guess you could almost say like a phobia to listen to my own voice. So I don't. When I edit my videos, I limit the amount of time that I'm listening to myself. So I don't rewatch my videos. I don't do anything with my videos. In fact, when I do a premiere and people are like hanging out with me on the chat or whatever, I mute my own video and I minimize it so I don't actually see. The only thing I see is the chat, so I can talk with them.
Don't you use it to like criticize yourself? I like to like listen to my stuff and I'm like, bro, that's trash. I gotta revise that and then try to improve on myself.
I'll read the subtitles, like the randomized subtitles they do, but I will not listen to my own voice. And yeah, and I'll take a lot of feedback. Like a lot of people will comment on the videos like, hey, you know, this is wrong or whatever. I'm like, oh, thanks so much for your feedback. At first, a lot of people will complain about the audio quality or like, not the quality, the audio mixing and everything. Because I wasn't listening to my videos. I didn't know that the audio was too loud for the music. So I was like, oh, okay, you know, it's easy fix. I can fix that. But my favorite video, I did a video a long time ago about Spider-Man. It was a Spider-Man video. That was kind of like one of my first videos that they did. You're probably not gonna find it because it got like 30 views.
Oh, okay. So
It was like one of my first videos that I ever did in the channel, and it was talking about like how I like Spider-Man and the Miles Morales movies that they did, and that was like one of my favorite videos. Like I did. That's another one, but that's not the one.
That's not it?
No, that's not it. But that was kind of like the video that really triggered me to kind of like make more videos because I really like how I made that video. I wrote a script and I like recorded it like 3 or 4 times. Yeah, I have like a lot of random content. If you can see like my old videos.
Is this it?
Nope, that's not it.
Wow, man.
I told you I have a lot of videos. Yeah.
And when did you start exactly? What's your oldest video?
November something.
It's Fallout 76 here.
Yeah, November 2nd, 2018. Yeah.
Wow.
At that point, I'm like complaining about Fallout 76. That was my only thing. I wasn't thinking about anything, either quality or writing anything. I was just like, I just need to talk about how bad this game is.
Yeah, you wrote Fallout 76 is expected to be released on November 14, 2018. Is this enough time to fix everything that the game has issues with? An average gamer, this game raised many red flags for me. I wanted to discuss my thoughts about the beta. That's literally what you said earlier. You remembered this one like word for word.
Oh yeah, yeah. I remember this video. Like I was like, I just had so much like emotion on me about it. I was like, I just need to talk about this.
Well, I guess that actually kind of leads into the next question. So looking kind of at some of your, because of how many videos you've done, is there one that kind of sticks out there for you as most underrated? And don't just think because like low view count. Like, what would you say is like personally underrated of whether it actually overperformed or underperformed of one where you're like, oh man, I wish more people would have like interacted or seen this one more?
That's a very good question. I'm sure all of us have one thing in mind where we're like, oh boy, I put so much time into this one, but it didn't perform.
Yeah,
I'm curious about that one.
Anything that is not Persona just underperforms really badly. For some reason, my YouTube and the algorithm just hates everything that is not Persona.
It is rough, huh? It is
like
really
everything,
rough.
I just make 2 videos in one day, or like I have like 1 video and then 1 video, or anything. I just underperforms badly. But I really love Spider-Man, and that one video, the one that Chris pulled up, the first one that I had, I think it was like the number 3, the third video that I did. That was like I feel bad because I made a video and I was like, yeah, this video is gonna be interesting because I was really excited for the. I actually have a video coming up now that I'm thinking about it about the Marvel game, because this is a follow-up. That will be a follow-up to this video about it, because this whole video is talking about how I felt like the Spider-Man will be like a good kind of like build up for a bigger game for like the Marvel game, which is absolutely not the case. But but at the time I was like, I was so excited for that game. I was like, that was like one of my top games that I was super excited for, and I worked really hard on the video. I looked up a bunch of stuff and I was like thinking a lot about it and everything. And again, that was way before I even had like experience doing YouTube videos and everything. So it took me about a week to make the whole video, like writing it and like thinking about what scenes I was gonna use, and like I was downloading all this footage for the game and everything like that. So I worked really hard for the video, although it didn't like obviously it has like 83 views right now. So like like Spencer was saying, it's not really about the views, but I felt like I really worked really hard on the perform. At the same time, I have a video that overperformed. It was like the stupidest video. It's a video that I did about it was a review that I did for this boxing.
I know what you're gonna bring up.
Yeah, it's a boxing game, and it's still like at 6,000, 7,000 views, and it's crazy because I had.
Yeah, baby, fitness boxing.
Yeah,
of course. Now, see. You got to do the sequel, man. Fitness Boxing 2 Rhythm Master. You got to get in the sequel, man. You're sitting on money with that
one. It's really.
I have a funny story about this video that you did in particular. Look at the date. It came out in January 2018. 2019. I started to make content in April, and Kuro was one of the first content creators that I met on the platform. So I was talking with him, and shout out to you, bro. You were like such a cool dude right away when I started, and I had like 30 subs. And I remember going to your YouTube page, and I was like, okay, let's look at his highest ranking videos just for inspiration, just to know what are people looking for. And that was like your second most viewed video. I was like, do I have to do boxing fitness videos or something? That was just a funny thing that I wanted to mention.
Yeah, it's really funny because when I made that video, it was a throwaway video for me. It was like, okay, what am I gonna do today? I've been playing this boxing video, and a big boxing game, and I was like, I actually enjoyed it quite a bit, and I was like, the idea of it is cool. So I was talking to my girlfriend at the time, and I was like, you think I should make a video about this? And she was like, I mean, if you want to. And I was like, well, thanks for the vote of confidence there.
That's cool.
Yeah, and I just made it. I was like, okay, we're just gonna talk about it. I didn't care for it, and then like I went to sleep, and then next day it had like a ton of views, like a couple hundred views, and I was like, why is this video being watched? And really, like that week it had so many views. So I was like, this is ridiculous. I barely put any effort. I didn't even write a script for this video. I just talked about it for who knows how long. Is it, like 5 minutes? I don't know, 8 minutes. I don't know how long the video is.
4 minutes, 55 seconds.
Oh, really? Okay.
If you made it double digits, man, that 10-minute mark, you might even have at least $5 at this point. Not that close.
Yeah. No.
I gotta say, your background was lacking a bit of Atlas Shrine thingies in the back.
Oh yeah. At the time, I just didn't have space for anything, and
compared to now, where I look at it and go, "How do you have space for you in this room?"
Oh, dude, you have no idea. Like that's one of my corners. The other two corners that I have, that is not the door, obviously. I have like a ton of other stuff.
I just imagine the other corners. One's the door, and the other two is the bed and the sex swing, just all next to each other.
Oh my gosh!
Like, listen, honey, you're allowed in here, but you can't look at the Funko Pops too long.
Oh my gosh!
You know what's really funny now that you just mentioned the Funko Pops, and this is just side thing, but my ex-girlfriend left some of the Funko Pops in the wall, and she was like, hey, I would like some of them back. And I'm like, can I just pay you for them? Because I'm not moving.
Honey, this is part of the set now.
Yeah. I was like, can I just pay you for them? I'll order them through Amazon or whatever if you're really attached to. I think one of them is like 11, and the other one is like Harry Potter or something. I'm like, if you're really attached to those, I'll just buy them for you.
That is such a man versus woman moment of like, because I've talked about this like so many times of like, girl gets something from like a gift of like her guy's significant other, immediate trash. I can't keep it. It's like you gotta burn it, get rid of it. And then guys will either keep it because we're too lazy or forgot about it, or be like, I don't know. It is a nice insert item thing here. Like so many times it's just like I know for me I've just been like, oh, I'll just chuck it in a box and never think about it until I have to move. And then I know other people will be like, no, I'm going to keep those clothes. I'll wear those clothes still.
Oh yeah, no. In this case, I think it will be crazy because my current girlfriend bought me a PS5, so I'm like, even if we broke up, I'm probably gonna
just wait. She's waiting for this thing to end so she can flip it. She could be like, can we do this? Let's wrap this up. I got to get that grand.
Oh my gosh. Too much, Spencer. Too much. Anyway, I was just going to say, the weird thing is like YouTube's algorithm will just pick videos that you're like, why is this video getting views? Like, I don't understand this at all. I'm sure you guys have had that experience. All of you probably.
Yeah, of course. There's always like this one video that you do and you have no idea what it did good. But there's some videos that I work really hard for, and I kind of like, at this point, I haven't a good idea that it's gonna do good.
Mm-hmm.
Just like based on previous videos or like videos that I've seen other people do and everything. I'm like, okay, if I make a video like that, I'm sure it'll do decent and everything. But it's rough. It's really rough to know. Sometimes I work really hard on like a review or something like that, and it gets 30 views, and I'm like, oh man, well that sucks. Actually, every single review that I've done lately that is not Persona has just completely tanked. Now that I think about it.
It's really hard to predict the algorithm. Like it's crazy. Like I'm just thinking this week, for example, I never released 2 reviews in the same week, but this week, for whatever reason, I did. I had the Strikers reviews, which came out not this week, that just happened, but the one before, and a Shin Megami Tensei 4 Apocalypse review. And my Apocalypse review came out on Thursday, while Strikers review came out on Tuesday. And my Apocalypse review is already at 1K views, while my Strikers review is like at 600 views. I don't understand it. It's really hard to predict. It's like, why is my 2017 game review performing better than my 2 weeks old game review? Like
Because I can tell you why, David. It's because everybody's doing Strikers right now, so you'll get good views on it, but not the best views. Nobody's doing Apocalypse right now. You're like the only review that's come out on Apocalypse in the last month.
But I actually think I have the answer for this week in particular. I did a poll recently on my channel. Really simple question. I was like, mainline or Persona? And I had like 72% mainline and the rest Persona. So I was like, okay, so
that's your problem, David. You give them the choice. You don't give them a choice. Listen, when you press that red button, you're getting whatever I'm throwing at you. Are you going to get 7 weeks of Strikers videos about things that no one wanted to ask about? Or are you going to get there's it's funny because stuff that performs, or like literally for me, I can't even think of the last time I looked at analytics, just because it's so much for me, it's such a side thing that I can't ever think of the last time where I was like, dude, I got to capitalize on. No, there was one time I had a moment of you got to jump on this dude, and it was for the most Spencer thing ever. I did that Best Buy post-mortem on how bad the steelbooks got screwed up, and the only reason I did that in my head, I rushed that, I was like, dude, if I care about this now, nobody's going to care about it next week. I gotta
Oh, congratulations on that video, by the way. You did incredible, right? Over 10K views?
I think the first one did surprisingly well. It was really funny. I did a PSA video being like, hey, heads up, here's how you get it, and here's why it's exclusive. And that was around 2K a week after it uploaded. But the closer we got to launch, you could tell people were Googling it, because it kept popping up, and it would jumped up 5K or something. It's almost at 9K now, and it was just really, really funny. You could see it getting closer to release date, getting more views. And so I didn't make the video because I thought, oh, more people are going to jump over to this one to see what happened. Just because it was no one's going to remember, no other channel's going to be let me tell you the Steelbook history. What happened to this one Best Buy pre-order vote? No one's going to remember, what happened. That's a good example is, David, remember how we used to trash on Yakuza 7, the Pixlove edition? No one's even mad about that or remembers why. Unless you are us and are well, yeah, but no one's going to make a video about no one's going to be I got screwed by France. And then going to be oh, okay, whatever.
Hey, I actually know what company you're talking about, though. I'm at least in the realm of understanding.
So it's just so funny of you guys but also you guys do way more videos than I do, a week, just because if I can get anything more than the podcast up, I'm okay, you did it. I've set the bar so low of what I expect, or because no one's expecting anything from many of us is the funny thing of us, but so I'm always amazed how you guys will knock them out for it, but I always do wonder because us talking about the algorithm, it is sort of weird of okay, does YouTube want more? How much more do they want? Do they always want long videos? How long do they want? When's too long? When's too short? I remember the only thing you had to know about the YouTube algorithm back in the day was have it be over 8.5 minutes and don't swear. I remember that was all you had to do to be on YouTube's good side. It was your goal to do that. Anything else is great.
Yeah, I don't know. There's so many things to think about with everything. For example, I have a message from YouTube that you mentioned it. It says your hard work paid off. Publishing more videos help your channel get 83% more views than usual. And I'm okay, well, that's good, right? We're just making more videos and people are watching them. But at the same time, I didn't make more videos. I always do the same amount of videos. It's just that right now people care about Persona, so.
The last time I had somebody from YouTube email me that wasn't just your boilerplate here's how you did, dum-dum, here's your 5 subs. The last actual personalized email I got was for my how bad 13 Sentinels sold in the West video that I put way back in like October. And it was funny, and this is like less than a month ago, so it was many months after I uploaded it, saying this video, the thumbnail had violated community guidelines.
What?
And I made that video, and if you look at it, like it's that one shot of
Fuyusaka.
Okay, that makes sense.
With her butt exposed, but I even did that in like the dumb clickbaity way of like I covered it with dumb emojis and stuff, and I even like made sure just like enough for it. But what's so funny is, even though that, like when I uploaded that video way back when, it kept getting auto deleted, but I never got a community violation thing for it. So I just kept uploading it until YouTube just gave up. And even though I got that email, nothing has changed. Nothing is logged to the video. I have no like someone at YouTube was like, "Oh, dude, don't be that horny." But then also I didn't do anything. So it's just like the weirdest thing. One of those funny ones of like you talk about like videos that weirdly do well numbers wise. That makes no sense. Like at least once a week, someone will click in that video, just go, "I bought 13 Sentinels," and I go, "Okay, cool for you, dude. It still sold like shit." I can watch the video. Thanks.
Hey, you want to know how broken the YouTube algorithm is? I unboxed a Wii U like a month after the Switch came out. It was a GameStop refurbished one. 10,000 views.
You know, I think it's like one of those things of like, it's almost like reverse algorithm, because I remember the Wii U got a patch this week, and that was trending. Because people just like, unironically or maybe ironically just be like, guys, the Wii U's patch, dust it off. We got to fix this bad boy.
Well, it said it made it more stable. I'm like, this is like one of the most stable systems I have ever owned in my life.
Wii U is still bad. It takes like 15 minutes just to load up the system. It's so slow.
It's stable though. It's stable though. Nothing's taking the Wii U down. All right, let's see here. David, you got the next question.
I do have the next question. Anything have you excited or nervous about that? You know that one RPG that's exclusive to Switch that's coming out in 2021 with no chances of getting delayed? I think it's called like Shin Megami 25 or something like that. I think
so
you might have
get me
heard.
excited. Honestly, there's a lot of more excitement to me than nervousness. Honestly, at this point, it's just we're long overdue for another SMT game. At a point, I'm like, okay, I don't really care whether it gets delayed or not. Like, I know there's like, besides all the joke that we keep on going with the 2022 release, frankly, I'm not nervous whether the game gets delayed or anything. I'm mostly just excited for more SMT game. Anything particularly that gets me excited is the main character. I love the character design. I love the uniform that they chose, like the flowers and everything. The main character himself looks interesting. I just love everything about what I've seen so far of the trailers, and I'm kind of like, dude, like I'm just so excited for it. And the fact that in the trailer they're kind of like in this desert-looking area, they reminded me of Nocturne. I'm like, oh, dude, this is gonna be so good. Like we don't have anything. We really don't have much to go from.
It's crazy.
Like it's really good.
I'm looking at this trailer again for like I don't know how many times, and I'm like, I honestly don't think I've ever been that excited for a game. Yeah. Honestly,
the last time that I got excited for a game this much was when I saw the chairs in Persona 5.
Even that, dude. I mean, SMT, like I need more. I need more. I'm playing all the older games, and I'm looking at this new game, and I'm like, oof. I know you.
Chris, are you this excited? I feel like the cranky old man who like just doesn't care about SMT5. Like I'll talk about it, obviously, just because of like the circle I like run it with my friends stuff. I cannot tell you guys how little of a shit I give about SMT5 because it is so just out of my realm. Like about this game when it is not coming anytime soon, and there are already so many other games coming out, you know.
Well, you cut off like middle of the road there, so I think Alice must have jumped in and said, "Nope, you can't talk about this."
I got censored, but no, it's so funny to me. Like when I because like there are people who would be like every day like talking about like, "Oh my god, I can't wait for SMT5. I can't wait about SMT5."
The only time I'm willing to talk about SMT5 is when there's news.
Yeah, it's like I mean, literally, like it's just in that thing of like it's still up there in that Project Arif fantasy phase of like it's real when you talk about it. Until then, like why get hyped about it? But I totally get why people do. It's just one of those things of especially people like me. I get so excited because I'm into like everything. Like literally, this is not a troll. I am more excited right now about playing MLB The Show 21 than I am about SMT5.
I can't say that. I'm not excited to play MLB at all.
Yeah, you know what? I see what Spencer's coming from. I don't I see that because I think he and I like we play a lot of games. Like in my channel, although I cover Persona a lot, like I had played a ton of games lately. Like I played what was it? It's called Pilgrim game, and I played that horror game that came up from Xbox. What was it called? I already The Medium. And I played Code Vein. I'm playing Code Vein right now. So like besides Persona 5 Strikers, which I was already kind of like, although I was hyped, I wasn't like in the hype moment anymore on the hype train or anything. Because like Spencer, I guess we played the game already in Japanese. Like the amount of hype, you can only be so hyped about replaying a game. That's what I mean. Like, like it doesn't feel the same anymore. I already knew the plot twist. I already knew like the plot points of the game and everything. So like the amount of hype that I had was more like, oh cool, we're getting a dub for the game.
I was more excited for 13 Sentinels than I am for SMT5. I will say that. I was more excited for 13, but I had been hyped for 13 Sentinels since the original reveal for the Vita years ago.
Okay,
so like,
yeah, I remember that.
That's a good answer.
Yeah,
because I wanted it on the Vita so bad. Like when I saw the reveal for that, I was like waiting for that game the entire time until it finally came out. And when they killed the Vita version, that was like one of the saddest days for me on the Vita.
Yeah, it was sad when that happened. I 100% agree with that. But at the same time, like I really love 13 Sentinels. It was
great.
A big disappointment how many people didn't play the game. Because I'm like, you are missing out. Like I don't care whether you like anime or if you don't like anime or whether you like Persona or not. The game itself is a love letter to like the 1980s sci-fi. Like it itself is just such a good game. If you take out everything out of like the Atlas and Persona, Shin Megami Tensei, if you take out anything that attaches to the Atlas branding and everything, you still have a really good game. Like I don't even if you didn't have the gameplay at all, if it was just like one of those novel-like stories that you just kind of play through without the whole gameplay and everything, I still will enjoy it as much. Although I do enjoy the gameplay a lot. I know a lot of people that didn't, but I love the gameplay. It was super fun.
So speaking of non-Persona games, what's your favorite non-Atlas game?
BioShock.
Really? Wow.
Yeah.
Cool.
Huh. Yeah, I would not have guessed that.
Yeah, I love horror games. Like besides BioShock, the other two series that I'll say like are like my top is Devil May Cry and Resident Evil. And Silent Hill. Like if I were to like when I was doing my channel, that was like the other series that I was considering making my channel around. I settled for Persona.
That's a smart idea coming from someone who like people assume my favorite series is SMT, and I'm like, no, it's Metal Gear Solid, but it would be very depressing to do a weekly podcast on the dead series.
Right, exactly. Like especially like BioShock. Like the last time that we heard something BioShock, besides the new news about a possible BioShock game coming, I say possible because I'm not. Until they announce something, just like Spencer said, unless we hear something and we literally are seeing a trailer for it, I don't want to hear about rumors and all this speculation. We've been hearing about a BioShock game for so long. In fact, there was a BioShock game coming for the PS Vita, which I was like super happy.
That was basically like a 1.5. It was never coming. It was never gonna actually happen. It was like somewhere between BioShock, like the gameplay of 1 and 2, and we don't even know what the story was. Like there was no way that was ever coming.
Right, exactly. And the dude only talked about it like once or twice, and they never talked about it again.
Well, the trailer. Have you ever seen the actual trailer they played at the Vita reveal for that?
Yeah.
Okay, because it was basically like it was literally taking a scene directly out of one of the other BioShock games and saying, "Hey, we're gonna put this on the Vita," and I was like, That's not even
much what they did. Yeah,
that's not even footage from a new game. That's an old game.
Right. Yeah. No. 100%. No. I was just kind of like, not even. Yeah. So at that point, like that's why like I didn't talk about BioShock. I haven't done much BioShock content because I'm just waiting for more stuff. I really don't want to talk about the old games too much without like kind of having something to go on from and everything. Because if I make a series of videos on something and then it just doesn't go anywhere, I'm kind of like, yeah, I don't know where to go from here. Kind of like what Metal Gear Solid, where do you go from there after? I mean,
I got a lot of Metal Gear Survive videos lined up, guys. Just wait. I got a whole playthrough. We're gonna get deep dive. We're getting the director with the gun in the back of his head talking about it. It's gonna be a good time.
Spencer's got like a vault of Metal Gear Solid videos, and in his will it says no. Let me finish this.
Totally could.
In his will it says, if I pass away in the unfortunate event, release all of the Metal Gear Solid videos.
It's sad how the opposite is just so true. It's like my guess is if I Thanos snapped out of existence, it would take people like a month later and be like, wait, wasn't there been a podcast? And someone would be like, oh yeah, he died. Like, oh, okay. So did anyone else have the passwords? No, he kept them all.
Wait, it was in the beginning of the show. We can get the no.
Oh, you know what's crazy? You just mentioned that. The other day I was setting up my stuff on Facebook, and I got an email from them that I haven't chosen someone. It's in case that I pass away. I'm like, first of all, why would you tell me this?
Listen,
like,
we're living in turbulent times.
You're expecting me to die? Is that what you're telling me right now? Like, you haven't chosen anybody in case of you pass away. And I was like, well, this is just weird. And no, I don't want to choose anybody for them to post in case I passed away. What are they going to post? Memes? Actually, no, take that back. Yes, post memes, Mom. I want you to share at least one meme every day after my passing. Every day.
Hey, speaking of choosing people, though, this is a good segue to the next question. Who are some of your favorite content creators in case you did pass away? You just want to give David your channel password to post memes every day.
So who are my favorite content creators? Well, outside of the Megami Tensei people, obviously, like you guys, I watch you guys stuff.
I assume none of you guys watch my stuff. My thing is, I've always noticed the closer I become friends with people, the less they'll want to watch my stuff, and I cannot blame them, because it would just be like, it'd be like, imagine like keeping up to, like, imagine, because we've talked about this before with like the gnarly thing. Like, it's very hard to straddle that line between I'm friends and I'm a fan. Like, you very rarely have the thing of like when you and me will message each other on Facebook, Kuro, we're not like, oh dude, great fucking video, dude. Let me tell you, dude. Like, here's my notes. I got some notes on your video, man.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, besides that, I don't really have like a. I know it's weird. It's gonna be weird for a lot of people. That I don't really watch a lot of YouTube. Like I'm actually literally looking at my subscriptions just to like double check like if there's any like actual like content creators. That
Can I recommend a channel to you that now that I know you like BioShock?
I think he's already subscribed to Bordering.
That's not what I was gonna say. No, it's a good friend of us on the channel, Skyrion. I don't know if you've heard of him. He did the entire BioShock timeline.
Oh, cool. I'll definitely check that out. That's awesome.
He did like 3 videos on BioShock, starting with Infinite, Follow It, and then Rise of Rapture and the Fall of Rapture. These are some really well edited, very long, about an hour worth of content there. Very, very good stuff. His Photoshop skills are way above anything I could do.
Nice.
If you ever have a really slow week and you and Will want to make a podcast with no guest, just make a segment of each of you guys going through your subscription list and having to explain it to the other person. Be like, why are you subscribed to oneup.com? Be like, listen, it was a long time ago. The website was very active at the time. It's like, I sometimes look at my subscription list. I'm like, who are you? It's like looking at a friends list, but you don't even know their name.
All right, so I did pull up some people that I will like say that I will like look up to a little bit. There's this girl, the Sphere Hunter.
Sphere Hunter?
Sphere.
Oh, I've heard that name before. Other people have talked about this person.
She does like Resident Evil and Devil May Cry content, which is literally like what I'm into. So I'm like, she's right up my alley on that. Game Ranks. I just like their news because they're fast and they just do stuff. And Spawn Wave Media.
One of the only people that has shunned me on every social media platform I've tried to contact him on.
Now, is shunning ignoring or reading your messages and saying no? Those are two different things. I'd say ignoring is not shunning. Shunning is when you message him and go, no thanks, bro.
Both of those things have happened.
Now, I know this is probably too close to inside baseball. I've got to know, was it at least like, did he at least let you down easy? Was there like a reason for it, or like what was the no? Like what was the reason behind the no?
Basically, I know that he read the messages and never responded.
Okay, I mean, I would even take that over like a no, because at least that it's like you're thinking about it. Like,
but he did respond to my best meme ever on Twitter. He did respond to my best meme ever on Twitter. I posted a picture of spinach in a box, and the name of the spinach, the brand, was actually called Earthbound. And I said, I think I got the wrong version of Earthbound. And then I tagged a bunch of big creators, and it got shared like crazy because Spawnwave retweeted it and said, just pretend you're Nintendo and ignore it.
But no, it's funny because like in all of my times of ever asking people to come on the show, I've literally only ever gotten one no, and it was recently. And it was like, I reached out to a guy who was a streamer, and I was like, hey, I know what you do. We have a lot of like similar like friend groups. We just have never talked ourselves. And I asked him, I was like, oh, hey, it'd be like a good chance to like get you on the show and like talk about what you do. And then just nothing else. And that was it. An immediate shutdown. I was like, Jesus.
I take it back. I had one worse. I reached out to the guy, I said, hey, really respect what you do. You know, really kind of nice message. And I looked the next day, and he just blocked me. Wow. I was like, what?
Wow, okay.
That's one of those things where, like, you kind of know him, and so, like, that, like, hurts a little more. Like, this felt like a Seinfeld episode to me. Like, I remember, I don't watch the guy's stuff. I know him because of Friends of Friends. So, literally, it was one of those things of a complete stranger. I reach out to. It's like holding the door open. And the guy goes through the other door, and I get more upset, not because it upset me, because I'm like, hey, I want to know why you said no to me. You give me an answer.
I'll never know about the guy that blocked me, though. It's like, oh, okay. All right, let's see here.
Blocked is rough, though.
Fair enough.
It's like, I mean, it's not somebody I was planning to necessarily talk to a lot, but I had some specific questions for him, and he just blocked me. I was like, okay, whatever.
Yeah, no. I never really tried to reach out to people to like podcasts and stuff like that. I always like to have like the people that I already kind of know to invite them and everything. But the people at Atlas, which I messaged or emailed and everything, and like the only thing that I got was like a scene. I mean, it's like at least they saw my message. I appreciate it.
There you go.
Yeah, but I don't know. I don't really have. I don't like reaching out to people. Like I felt so the first time that I started my podcast, I literally went to Spencer's Facebook group, and I was like, "Does anyone want to be in the podcast?" And then Spencer was like, "Well, I'm the big guy of the podcast." And I was like, "Well, come by, please." So like literally, Spencer helped me out so much with the first podcast and everything. So thank you again.
Oh man, you know me. I've way more. I've got time to be on everyone's podcast, but I don't got time to actually fix my YouTube channel. So hypocrisy at its finest.
All right, I got that last question for you, Kuro. Is there anything that we've missed that you would like to discuss, or anything you would like to ask any of us?
Well, I have a question for you, Chris.
Okay.
How did you come up with the concept of your channel? Because it's really different from what other people do. Like I wouldn't call your channel niche, but like different enough from like everything else. Like what made you kind of like make this kind of content?
This is kind of a long-winded story, and I've kind of explained it a little bit over the year or two that we've done this. But essentially what happened was Will and I, good friends, we met through our wives actually in college. And so he moved states away from here at some point, and so we were like, hey, how are we gonna maintain this friendship? And I was like, why don't we just record ourselves talking every week and put that up on YouTube, and it forces us to actually have a conversation every week, right? And then that turned into, hey, this is a lot of editing because we say a lot of stupid things. Why don't we have an outline to talk about stuff, right? So it turned into like an actual podcast because we started making an outline every week. And then randomly I reached out to Adam Korlick to be a guest on the show. And that's how we kind of got into having YouTubers on the show and kind of transformed the whole aspect of the podcast into what it is now.
That's cool. That's pretty interesting.
And Adam's a cool guy. I actually talked to him of the content creators I reached out to that I actually watched significantly before the show started. I'm surprised that I talk as much as we do. He's a really cool dude. I must say, shout out to Adam, one of the first guests on our channel as far as a YouTuber goes.
Nice.
And I really respect like the retro community. So like having him on was like it'd be like the equivalent of one of you guys having like Shoji Meguro on. It'd be like that's how I felt about it.
Okay.
Because I'm really into the retro community, so that was really cool for me.
Now you got me wondering, who is the Shoji Meguro of the retro community? And I hate that like the first dance that went to my brain was the fucking ABGN.
Hey, we had his producer on our show. We had his producer on our show, but we have not had Angry Video Game Nerd yet.
Not yet.
I'm still trying to make that one happen. But yeah, Adam and Games81, two of the people I watched a lot when I started YouTube. So it was really cool to have both of them on. I mean, it was quite a distance between having them both on, but we did eventually get Games81, which was cool.
Did you ever try to have the Game Chasers on?
I'm gonna be honest. I heard about the Game Chasers after I started my channel. I actually never watched them back then.
I'm like the biggest fan of them. Like when I first heard about YouTube, I was watching them. Like when I was very young. They're awesome dudes. I was like, if you can have those two on the show, that would be amazing.
I'll make sure to reach out to you too, David, if we have them on.
I mean, I'd be the fan in.
Dave's like, I might faint in the middle.
They're just cool. It's like they're simple dudes, and they just record a simple show, like hunting for retro games at like old ghetto flea markets. And like they have an old show, and it's like, yeah, it's really cool. It really is.
That sounds pretty fun. Again, I don't watch a lot of YouTube, so like I'm not like familiar with the names.
YouTube, dude. I watch a lot of YouTube. Like Spencer, you mentioned how you don't think we watch your show. I listen to your podcast like almost every single week.
Check out this top comment on the Spawnwave video that came out today.
I listen to way too many podcasts. Way too many.
It means you're the better friend. That is how good you are. Especially like, well, I'm amazed if anyone will watch any of my videos, let alone the podcast. The podcast is like, I feel like such a disconnect between like that's the other one of like I never hear friends be like, oh dude, like no, I shouldn't say never. I actually have a really awesome friend fan. His name is Patrick, who I doubt will ever hear this, but I hope he does. But like he'll literally just every now and then just like text me, be like, hey man, like because I was talking about like doing a giveaway, I think, and he was giving me like feedback on the episode and like, hey, you should do this for the giveaway. And I was like, it's so funny because like I genuinely consider him as like a friend, but it is funny like I forget like how much of a fan he is. Like he's even like on the Patreon and stuff.
I had a friend
cool.
text.
I just listen to like podcasts, whatever I'm doing in life, like I'm working, I'm doing the dishes, I'm cleaning the house. I'm listening to a podcast, so I have the time to listen to a ton of them. I don't necessarily listen to as many videos, but podcasts for whatever reason, it's like it's great. I just leave it and hear it in the background while doing other things, and it's great.
That's cool. Yeah, I'm not. I think the only podcast that I listen to is you guys' podcast. Whenever you guys show up, I listen just to support. I have it on the background. Like sometimes I'll pop up and you say hi or something. But I don't know. I guess it'll be the same thing for me as kind of like audiobooks and that kind of stuff. I don't listen to a lot. Like I listen to music, but I don't like to listen to people talk. Okay. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
So, last thing I just wanted to point out to you guys. Oh, it's not middle. Despite the fact that you're called the Midnight Channel, your favorite games are not Persona 4.
No.
Suppose.
Which is what really threw me off in the beginning. was I thought this was literally like a Persona 4 channel when I first saw your channel. I was like, man, this has got to be the biggest Persona 4 channel, and everything's 5 or 3 or Nocturne. I'm like, oh, I guess not.
Got a couple of 6 videos in there just to throw you off your feet.
And actually, the first time I saw your channel, I had thought I was watching The Velvet Dweller, which threw me off big because your voice is very different.
Velvet Dweller.
That's like the French, like a French SMT podcast.
I'm literally just imagining it's SMTN, but with all French accents. It's very bad.
Yeah, I think that's it right here.
The show would be bad.
Nope, that's not it.
Very bad French accents.
I mean, it's Velvet Network. I don't know. It was like
Velvet. Yeah, I was gonna say Velvet.
Yeah, I'm sorry, not Velvet.
They're Spanish, right?
Yeah, that's Hagani and all of them. Yeah, they're from South America.
Yeah, I stumbled on them one time, and I thought I had stumbled on them, but I ended up stumbling on Kuro. And I realized when he started speaking English, I was like, oh yeah, this is definitely not Velvet Network.
Interesting. I did start a Spanish channel recently. It's actually doing pretty good.
What's it called again? Is it the same thing but in Spanish?
The Mina channel español.
Okay.
I was really hoping you would have just committed and gone El Midnight Channel-o, just like as just white gentrified as possible.
You know what? I thought about doing that. Oh yeah, you're seeing the English. No, you seeing the Spanish description? I made it so that you will see the English one when you click on it.
I'm sure if I click on the actual video. Nope.
No. Interesting. Okay, I translated everything to English so that people will be like, "Well, why is everything in Spanish?"
Well, YouTube is always broken, so got some more things to fix, huh? Anyways, is there anything else you wanted to add to it?
No, that's it. Thank you for having me here and having the discussion.
And we will be recording the other segments, but I want to thank you for doing the interview with us. It's been a lot of fun. Adding all of the people I consider cool or friends on YouTube to this interviews podcast or playlist is one of my goals, to get everybody that I think is cool their own interview on our channel.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yeah. As always, I'm Chris.
I'm David.
I'm Kuro.
I'm
Spencer. And we will see you all on the next CHRILLCAST. Bye, guys.